Was that part of your job to know what areas were associated with what gangs?
Pretty much a job, and like I said, I started in like 1985, so kind of got familiar while I was working in jail. It was curious to me, being that my father was active with the gangs, and something that was intriguing to me as well.
So when you were in the neighborhood that you grew up in?
Yes, about 2 blocks away.
Was that considered
correct, sir?
When you were growing up, were you familiar with the mob party?
They came on eventually there. It was really a smart private area, but in I guess I was in 7th grade, which would have been like 1978, maybe a little late. They started calling themselves the mob party.
So the Looters Park there before, and then they transitioned to the mob party.
We pretty much divided it, everything south of Rosecrans was mob, and everything north was or the other way around. North was mob, and south were. Well, growing up in the city of Compton, we all played sports together. And heard of them when I was playing at Kelly Park, baseball, Little League baseball, at Compton Northern. And then my time in '85 as a jailer, and then working in the streets of Compton as a police officer from '89.
Were you familiar with somebody by the name that went by the moniker Keefe?
Well, heard of him. Had no personal interactions with him at that point, especially in law enforcement. Heard of him, knew of him, but I had no personal contact with Keefe at that time.
So he was somebody that was on your radar, even though you had never met him or in person.
Heard of him. He was mainly known as at one point he was known as a crackhead, but then later on he was known as a.
Oh shit! He said, "Hey, I didn't read it right." Drew, you said at one point Keefe D was known as a crack.
The level of narcotics he was.
What the fuck?
Right, so then you had mentioned that after you had left the.
Them niggas don't like each other, man.
You
For real. Look how Keefe D. Hey, look how Keefe D looking at Reggie Rock.
So in '94, initially I was using a private security company. I was kind of in charge for security for their whole force. But once I saw I was about to get retired, I opened up my own private company called Right Way Protective Services. And that didn't really get started until about 1990. But in '94, I was using another company.
And who were your clients? Was your client just death row, or did you do anything else?
I had a couple of clients, like Honda of Pasadena, which was the automotive dealership, a dealership in Compton. They were repoing people's cars, and they needed a car. But my biggest, 95% of my clients was clientele was death row records.
Now, tell me about that. What were you doing when you're saying you're security or a security company that's working for death row records, you're getting contracted by death row records? What does that mean, actually?
It grew over a time period. In '94, it was just mainly just special events. And then I have a couple of off-duty or retired police officers hanging with the artists in '94. '95, '96 got a little bigger. Got security at the office, at the recording studios. Had no personal driving Mr. Niner. 2 with Mr. Shakur, 2 with Snoop Dogg, Mr. Rhodes, and other artists when they went to emotional events like that. So I could pretty much have about 10 officers working a day.
When you say 10 officers, were the people that you would contract with or work for you in this world, were they largely off-duty police officers?
Off-duty or reserves or retired.
Why is that?
Because they were able to get guns concealed. is not exposed. Had exposed officers at the studio, but mainly the buyers were carried their weapons concealed as well.
We heard from James McDonald just before. Then, well, let me ask you: Crips and Bloods, are they in conflict?
Typically, Death Row was a unique situation. One of their main artists prior to Shakur coming to the label was Snoop Dogg, who was in the old Crip from Long Beach. And they all seem to have a great working relationship prior to my arrival and even during my arrival.
All right. I want to ask you about Bad Boy Records. Are you familiar with a company called Bad Boy Records?
Yes, I am.
And who, to your knowledge, was running Bad Boy Records in the mid-90s?
P. Diddy, Sean Combs, Puffy. I don't know what name you go by there.
All right. So we'll go with Mr. Combs for now. So Mr. Combs was running Bad Boy Record, and then who would you say is the most prominent artist at that time was?
Christopher Wallace, Biggie Small.
Okay. And then was there tension between Death Row Records and Bad Boy, the Bad Boy Entertainment label?
At what time period?
Well, you tell me. At any point, did tension develop between Bad Boy Records and Death Row Records?
Initially, when I was around in '94, there wasn't. However, some things happened in '95 that started tension between Death Row and Bad Boys.
There's a famous speech that Mr. Knight gives at the Source Awards in New York in 1995. Is that?
Yes, sir. That was August. Yes, sir. That was when he let the world know.
And then there's another incident where one of Suge's associates was in jail. Is that right?
September 25th, I believe. Yes, sir.
And then, is it fair to say that your perception of as security for Death Row Records was that somebody associated with Bad Boy Entertainment may have had something to do with the murder of one of Suge's friends in Atlanta?
That was always the story that was told to us. Yes, sir.
And so, is it fair to say by 1995, the end of 1995, that there was significant tension between Bad Boy and Death Row?
Yes, sir.
And to the extent that it even involved violence with regards to Suge's friend being killed.
Right. That was the first time something escalated to that point. Yes, sir.
As security for Death Row, how did you handle this?
Well, we was always on some type of tension when it came to Bad Boys or going to the East Coast, which Suge and I continuously went to the East Coast because he had a lot of business. The distributor, the main distributor was located there. The big trade planes and stuff was out there. So I can honestly say that he and I, maybe a few of his homeboys, went out there at least once a week, once a month, I'm sorry. During that time, when Mr. Shakur came home, we went down a little bit, but we were still going out there, but we didn't go as much.
And what do you say when Mr. Shakur came home? At some point, did Death Row sign Mr. Shakur to his record label?
It's debated how that happened, but
I'm not asking about the how. I'm just saying, did it happen?
Yes, sir. I believe he came home October the 12th of 1995.
Now, as security for Death Row, were you aware that Mr. Shakur was actually out on a bond, an appeals bond from prison from New York?
Yes, sir.
And I believe the allegation has something to do with misconduct. Is that right? If you
I mean, something like that. I wouldn't call it that, but yeah.
okay, there was some kind of issue. Mr. Shakur is in prison in New York, and then
Yeah, with some other companies, but yes, sir.
okay. Mr. Shakur comes to.
I can eat corn. I can eat apples, Snickers. You can eat anything. I'm just telling you, in the long run.
I remember, I picked him up at the airport, me and one of the security guys named Kevin Hackey, and we took him immediately. We went to Monty's restaurant at 8. Then we went to the studio, the recording studio that night. On. We got him into a room in this little hotel where he stayed for, I believe, a month or two. Then he got a spot on Wilshire and later on in the house in Calabasas.
Where as the head of right was contracted by Death Row Records. Were you responsible?
I previously stated that Mr. Davis was with him, and I even think I may have even said that he was one of the ones close to the guy with the gun. Never said he was the one with the gun, but there's been on social media, someone has everybody that.
So do you remember? Well, I'm going to ask you what your independent recollection is. Your about that incident. So the Soul Train. What is it? The Soul Train Music Awards?
Soul Train Music Awards.
And approximately what timeline are we? 95?
Sorry, 96.
Yeah, 96. And as you mentioned before, the song hit. Was this before or after the song hit?
Before him.
Okay, before him. Okay. Tell us what happened at the Soul Train Music Awards.
We pulled in. We had an entourage of 50 people with us. They only allowed two cars of us to get back because that's where they had all the set up and the motorhomes and stuff like that. So we drove in the back. It was the night on the outside of a Hummer.
To the channel, man, Malone TV. You know what I'm saying? Your boy CM Nigga, okay, Big Drip Moolah. In the building, we're gonna be posted on pretty much throughout the whole trial. So tune in to the stream. You dig?